Human rights activist and senior advocate of Nigeria, San Femi Falana, said a judgment of the appellate court sacking Governor Hapa Yusuf of Kano State and Governor Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau State should be reviewed. Falana made this call in an interview on Channels Television Sunday Politics. According to him, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) failed in its duty to conduct proper elections in the country. He said the votes of Nigerians should not be nullified by the courts because of the supposed negligence of the electoral umpire that shouldn't have cleared candidates put forward by parties without primaries conducted. He also said thousands of votes should not be invalidated by the courts because INEC officials failed to stamp ballot sheets. Falana noted that election matters should be concluded before the inauguration of any administration.
The stakeholders should go back to the drawing table so that the involvement of judges in our elections can be completely eliminated. Nigeria is the only country in the world today where results of elections are determined by judges. It shouldn't be so. We have just witnessed in Liberia, a country that Nigeria assisted to restore political stability. We just witnessed an election there. Recently, we witnessed an election, a successful election in Sierra Leone. Again, another country assisted by Nigeria to have law and order restored. So if these countries can organize elections, why are we asking judges to determine the result of our elections with respect to the decisions of the Court of Appeal? That is not the end of the road. All those who are dissatisfied will have to go to the Supreme Court. But if you look at what happened in Lagos, why is different from Plateau, is that you are being told in the case of Plateau, there was a judgment of the High Court to the effect that primaries have to be conducted. The judgment, as usual, was dishonored, disregarded, disobeyed, and elections went on. I think the last time I can recall that the Supreme Court berated the Nigerian political class to learn to comply with the doctrine of least spending was the case of Mr. Peter Obi and INEC. When in 2007, in spite of the case of Mr. Peter Obi that was pending the High Court, INEC went and proceeded to hold the election. The Supreme Court made the point that it was a risk on the part of INEC to engage in a wasteful exercise by conducting that election while the case of Mr. Peter Obi was pending. Now, if we are being told here that the court ordered the primaries be held and the primaries were not held, and the election took place on the basis of the primaries that were not held, there are problems. I do hope that the Supreme Court will make a definitive pronouncement on this. Again, it's different from Kano, where you are being told now that voters can be punished. It's a very dangerous judicial policy to punish sanctioned voters for the mistake of electoral officer. We are being told here that 165,000 votes are wasted. They are invalid because some electoral officers refused or committed an error by not stamping them. How does that affect the validity of the election? If you recall again the case of Yaradua, Buhari and Yaradua, even the election material, the ballot papers were not serialized, they were not marked, but the Supreme Court came to the conclusion that the petitioner, General Buhari, on that occasion, did not impeach the integrity of the election. So I do hope that this time around the Supreme Court will again resolve this needless controversy surrounding the stamping of ballot paper by INEC officials who have not been recommended for any discipline or any sanction. So this is why these judgments will have to be reviewed.
Recall that the appellate court sacked 3 governors that INEC declared winners in the March 2023 poll. All the 3 governors sacked by the appellate court are in opposition parties. The court sacked Yusuf of the New Nigerian People's Party (NNPP) and declared his All Progressive Congress (APC) counterpart Nasiru Gawuna as the winner of the poll. In Zamfara, the appellate court sacked Governor Dauda Lawal of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) when it declared the poll inconclusive about 8 months afterwards. The court ordered INEC to conduct a free election in 3 local government areas of the state. PDP's Lawal and APC's Bello Matawale are the major contenders in the race. On Sunday, the appellate court sacked PDP's Mutfwang and ordered INEC to issue a certificate of return to APC's Nintawe Goshui.